Hey everybody, welcome back. And today I'm here to give you guys a kind of a first thoughts and unboxing of a figure that I'm very excited to get a hold of. And that's the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. So this figure, I was totally unexpecting to find it today. I just happened to be out and about running errands and decided I would stop in the local comic book and collector store. And they happened to have a few of them in stock. So I was very excited to get a hold of it, and it's a figure that I've really been looking forward to, unlike a lot of Hasbro figures as of late. But these Studio Series figures are really cool with what they're doing with some of them. So what I'll do today is unbox this guy, give you my first impressions, maybe a few figure comparisons, and that'll be the bulk of it for today. So let's start with the artwork. It's got some really cool artwork on the front. It's artwork that's inspired by a scene in the movie. So really cool there. Some very nice artwork on the sides of the box of Optimus Prime, and I do apologize for the camera glare there. And then the other side of the box kind of fills in with the same format of the other Studio 86 figures. And then the back of the box, we've got some nice product photos of the toy in bot mode, alt mode. We've got Roller, him standing in his alcove or trailer that's unfolded. And then we've got a shot of the background diorama piece that comes with these studio class figures. So with that being said, let's get into this guy and see what we've got. And I'm not even sure, okay, I wasn't even sure yet entirely whether this guy came in bot mode or alt mode in the box. So here we've got him unboxed here. You can see he's strapped in all of his glory here. Initially, I think he's a really good looking figure, a little bit bigger than I had anticipated it to be, but really cool, a lot of accessories. So let's go ahead and get him unstrapped. And this is always the part I hate about opening these figures. And we can see we've got all of his blast effects and energon acts that are in a separate little bag here. And then his gun. And then, of course, we've got Roller strapped in as well. All right, so looking at him to begin with, so let's get kind of a little bit of look at all of the accessories here. So we've got part of the repair bay, very similar to the original G1 toy, at least in the style, if not size. So we've got that piece there. We've got Roller, looks really good. Nice metallic paint on him. And nice black wheels, really solid. It doesn't feel cheap, but of course at the Commander class price point, it shouldn't feel cheap. We've even got some screws in there, so he's multiple pieces. And then we've got Optimus's ion cannon. That looks like a kind of a gunmetal, really nicely painted piece. Looks good. Nice and solid. There's not any hollowness on it like some of the guns have been with these figures in the past. And then we've got this bag of blast effects. So let's take a look at these. So we've got his ion cannon blast effects. And I would imagine these could also fit on this. Yeah. So there we go. So we can fit there, fit on his cannon. Now, the one thing I don't like, I'm looking at these and they're kind of not straight. They're a very soft, malleable plastic, so they're not rigid like some of the blast effects are that come with the Masterpiece figures. So we've got those. And then we've got his axe. So again, it's a soft plastic, very bendy, but nice looking. And then some of the blast off effects that lets you replicate that scene from the movie where he kind of takes off from alt mode and transforms. It looks like these plug into these bases right here. Again, this is soft plastic, like all the other blast effects are. So here these are assembled, and so really nice looking. And then here we go with the Optimus Prime figure itself. So we've still got some plastic in here that holds him in the box. Let's get all that out. This actually runs all the way through the figure. And looking at him, he's really tall. Like I said earlier, a lot taller than I had anticipated him being. So right now I don't have an open copy of the Earthrise mold of Optimus Prime, but I'll put him next to the Siege mold. And you can see he's a good bit taller, probably a half an inch or so taller than the Siege. And this one is very similar to the Earthrise Optimus Prime mold. So for a size comparison, you can see he's a good bit bigger than him. And then if we put him next to, let's smooth these out of the way, and let's say MP44S, good bit smaller than that guy, but much more similar, I would say, in the features and kind of the hallmarks of what make Optimus Prime to the MP44 figure here. Let's put him back off to the side. So if we look at him articulation-wise, we've got his head turns all the way around. It's on a ball joint. Don't have a whole lot of upward movement. I will say that the head here is kind of almost a rubbery plastic. It's not like a rigid ABS type plastic. That's a little bit surprising to me. It is painted. It's not colored molded plastic. His arms, we get full 360 here, full 360 here. His elbows, get a 90 degree, get a bicep swivel. His hands swivel, and they do have some articulation in the fingers. So that's pretty cool. The thumb is not articulated. For his hip swivel, we do get a full hip swivel, legs out to the side each way, and we get a thigh swivel there, and we get more than 90 degrees on the knee bend, so that's really cool. We do have a little bit of toe down, and we've got some ankle tilt there. And looking at him, I mean, he looks like a really, really good figure, much better than what I expected, given some of the stuff that Hasbro has put out recently. He does have a little bit of a backpack, a lot of kibble on the back. But overall, a really, really good looking figure. And I'm certainly glad that I picked it up. I don't feel like I wasted my money. This is, I would say that as far as Hasbro Chug stuff goes, I would say this is probably at this point is the definitive Optimus Prime figure. It's better in my opinion than any of them that we've gotten before. and that says a lot. So let's put him off to the side and let's take a look at the trailer. So I don't have a G1 trailer out right now to kind of do a comparison, but in looking at this, it looks like it's slightly bigger than the G1 trailer. I'm noticing that it doesn't have the holes here where you can, pose the repair drone out, from a closed trailer. But again, it is what it is there. We do have the pieces that swing out that lets you open up the trailer and let it sit level and not sag downward. We've got the stands for the trailer, and the trailer rear door swings down to open, and it's a nice ratchet there to open, and it looks really well made. It's kind of missing the original bays that were in the original trailer. I don't see any of those, but it's got, spots here, it looks like, to peg in the weaponry and maybe the blast effects. So looks like these guys fit right here maybe. And the repair drone pegs in here. And it can also peg into the top of roller as well. And then we can also, it looks like, if we close up the trailer really quickly, we can peg him into hauler, and hauler can roll this guy around on his back. So that's very cool. Very well built. It does not feel cheap. Again, at the Commander class price point, it shouldn't. But I'm very impressed with this trailer, given the trailers that we got with the Earthrise release and the Kingdom release. Those were really terrible trailers that we got. They were just a sorry excuse for a trailer for Optimus Prime. And then if we close this up, I believe this piece opens and you can store the blast effects in here, it looks like. So maybe these larger effects will fit in there. So overall, yeah, really cool. Again, I was super happy to get this figure. I didn't anticipate getting him for a while. Of course, I don't put a huge emphasis in obtaining Hasbro figures, but when I saw it, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to kick myself if I don't get it. So overall, really nice figure, very impressed with it. Good job, Hasbro. I think you guys came as close to a mini masterpiece as possible with this figure. So I think that's all I've got, and I appreciate everybody watching.